What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of a really good young center. That is Zach Frazier. We're going to talk about what this guy showed on tape. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers got a really good football player in Frazier. You got this first play here. The Steelers going to run what is called crunch. And you see Frazier do such a great job with the reach block on this one. This is not easy, right? This is not an easy block to get to. He has to get to this side of this linebacker here, and he does a really good job being able to get there. And not only does he get there, but this linebacker essentially straight up just got cut off. And what's crazy about this block is Frazier is lined up to the left side of the hash marks here. Look at how much further the linebacker is to the right side of those same hash marks. This is absolutely incredible. It's a hard reach to do, and Frazier does a great job getting there. He ends up sealing it off, and the running back picks up 10 yards on 2nd and 7. But there's a lot of really nice plays from this guy, and we're going to get into it. Very excited for that one. Let's just get right into the tape. Alrighty, guys, you got a really nice pass set here. Frazier's going to see the defensive line game, and he's going to process it. Right guard does a really good job. He's the one that really is the first guy to pass it off, and then he kind of comes around and also ends up picking up the other defensive lineman there. So let's talk about this play a little bit. Frazier's going to do a really good job to be able to recognize the game. So the slide's to the left. So Frazier's going to help the left guard first. He does keep the right hand up. As an interior offensive lineman, definitely makes sense when you're essentially sliding away to one side. So on this one here, Frazier's going to do a great job actually seeing that the defensive line game's coming. You can see the helmet turn towards that defensive lineman. Love how James Daniel does not let this defensive lineman get a free shot at the center. He's going to get his hands and fully pass this guy off. He's going to make sure Frazier's able to actually get underneath it. So it's a great job right there by the right guard. And then as soon as Frazier's able to take it, the right guard releases and he comes back to the other defensive lineman. So on the inside, those guys do a really good job. Now, of course, Broderick Jones does end up losing to Greg Rosal. Some people think Rosal is a top 10 defensive end. He's a pretty damn good football player. Russell Wilson is not able to get away from the defensive end on this one. And Broderick Jones ends up getting credited for the sack. You got to do a better job if you're Jones. You got to be able to anchor down better. But again, good job on the inside. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. So one of the things that you're going to see with Zach Frazier is he is very good when it comes to leverage. I believe he has a wrestling background, and you definitely see that on tape. You definitely see plays like this. I mean, this is incredible. To me, one of the things you need with your center especially is they got to be able to hold their ground. So they got to have that power to be able to hold their ground, especially when you're running these type of plays. You know, on this one here, so Frazier has the back block essentially. So when he makes this block here, he has to hold his ground. Because the further back this guy pushes Frazier, essentially the less of a gap you're going to get behind that. So to me, I love the fact that he holds his ground. And you really see how low he is. You see how low he is when he makes contact. Look at the helmet. Look at how he kind of gets into this guy's chest. Absolutely perfect. And then the defensive lineman is going to try to shed this. And as he tries to shed this, he's going to try coming back over the top here. And I love the fact that he has the footwork behind it to stay right in front of it. Look at this. Look at the feet shuffle. Look at him stay right with it. And look at him not get off the block. I mean, this is incredible. For a rookie to be able to do this, that's an absolute beautiful job right there with the leverage, the ability to keep the feet moving, mirroring, and staying in front of this defensive lineman. Really nice job. Let's get into the next snap. So you got another nice rep here. Frazier, once again, is going to be able to get past this defensive lineman. You got the screen play towards the right to the running back. The play only picks up a couple yards, but that's not because of Frazier. Frazier actually does a beautiful job. I love the fact that this guy's smart. You know, there's a couple different ways you can essentially get in front of this guy. You can try going in front of him, or you can get behind him. And in this instance, he's going to go behind him because the defensive lineman is going to actually leverage to the right of Frazier. Right? So that defensive lineman's not going to allow Frazier to get in front of him. So with that, Frazier does a good job just going right behind this guy. I love it. To me, that's smart, man. That's very smart. And it's not a big deal. You know, there's plenty of centers that would be smart to do this type of thing. But keep in mind, this is his second ever NFL action. Brand new in the NFL. But I do also have to give a lot of credit to Zach Frazier's offensive line coach in college. Matt Moore, offensive line coach of West Virginia, has been producing some good talent as of recently. Zach Frazier is one of the best centers coming out over the past, 5 years or so. Next year, in my opinion, the #1 tackle right now is the West Virginia left tackle at the moment. So Matt Moore's been doing a really good job with that offensive line, and you see the coaching points in Zach Frazier. Alrighty, guys, I want to show you guys just 2 plays that Zach Frazier's not going to make. I don't want to only show you guys positive plays. I also want to show you guys some teach tape and those type of things. To me, you got to do a better job on this one. Now, it is a hard block. The linebacker is going to be shaded to the right. Number 44 is good. He's fast. He's quick. But you got to be able to get to this block. And to me, I'm not sure if that one technique D tackle ends up holding him there, number 94. But you got to be able to get up to that guy there. You got to get in front of him. Or you got to at least hold him long enough that your running back can hit this to the inside here. If not, hold it long enough that the running back can at least get underneath it, right, and potentially cut it back into one of these gaps. In this one here, Frazier's not going to do a good job holding the block, and the guy just straight up gets off the block. So you got to do a little bit of a better job on this one. There's one more where he has essentially a cutoff block. Same exact linebacker, same exact player. He's not going to be able to get in front of it. Now, this one's obviously a lot harder. But I did want to just point these plays out because I think with Frazier, he is not the perfect player today. But there's a lot of upside, right? He'll win most of his run blocking snaps, but he does have some losing snaps, and I think it's important to kind of point it out. I also have noticed every time he blocks to the right, it's more likely he's going to lose a snap as opposed to blocking to the left. I don't know if that means anything, but it is something I just kind of saw, so I just wanted to point that out. Let's get into the next snap. Check this play out. You got another really nice job once again by Frazier. Once again, just the processing ability by him. Just a really, really good job. I love how he's going to keep his eyes up, and I love how he's turning the head. Right out of his stance, he's going to slide towards the left. You're going to see that helmet turn towards that same side, but then look at him come back to the right, come back to the left, come back to the right. And he sees it, right? Like he sees the defensive line game. Number 93 was a little slow with the game, right? I'm not sure if the other defensive tackle right here, number 90, was supposed to go first and hard into the center. But that's a great job, man. I think the processing and just the way this guy sees things is absolutely incredible. Keep in mind, we're slowing everything down, right? We're slowing it down to 50% speed. In real time, it's a lot quicker. It happens a lot faster. And Frazier does a really, really good job. On this one here, the Fields ends up picking up 20 yards. Good job. Let's get into the next snap. Another thing I really like with Frazier is how he moves out in space. On this one here, he's going to pull out in front, and he's going to do a pretty good job making contact with the linebacker. Note the running back doesn't actually have the ball. Justin Fields is going to end up keeping it. But had the quarterback actually handed this off, I mean, Frazier's going to do a really good job making contact and pushing his guy outwards. The guy tries getting to the inside, and then Frazier kind of just flips the hips. And he ends up getting to the right side of this. Of course, the running back doesn't have the ball, but one of the things you will note with Frazier is he is good when it comes to moving. You have this end around that happened earlier on in the game. You also kind of noticed how he's able to get out of there on this one as well. The receiver ends up running this to the outside, but again, Frazier does a good job getting in position to be able to make a block. In my opinion, number 16 here should have cut this underneath Frazier. I understand there's a defensive tackle pursuing the backside. That D tackle would not have been able to get him. And if you went underneath this, you allow your center to not only lay a block, but you got 2 to 3 guys as well out in front of it. And those guys should be able to potentially lay some blocks, and this could have been a touchdown had Watkins actually went underneath this. Again, he might not have gotten past that defensive tackle there, but regardless, I like the way Frazier moves. I'm excited for this guy, man. He has so much potential. I want to wrap this video up showing you guys just a couple more plays because Frazier did do a really good job anchoring down a couple of times, showing off that power, that leverage, and he does a good job with the hand fighting as well. And I think that's another underrated aspect of his tape. The way he locks in with guys, in my opinion, is very, very impressive. So on this one here, as soon as the ball gets snapped, right, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to throw a quick punch. Understanding that some guys will take the punch, some guys will chop the punch. This guy's going to chop that hand down. You see the D tackle with the left hand chop down Frazier. Does not matter. The hand's going to come back. He's going to end up just getting right inside to this defensive lineman. The defensive lineman's going to try to overpower Frazier, and then look at him drop the anchor right there. You see him shut that down right there. And that's just a great job once again by Frazier. Understanding hand placement, understanding exactly the timing of things, and then having the quickness to, process, see what guys are trying to do. Keep changing your moves up, right? Throw a punch right as you snap the ball on one hand. Maybe you don't throw a punch on the next one. At the same time, anchor down and have the power, the leverage to fully anchor down. Frazier's going to be a really good football player, in my opinion. And the thing is, with certain offensive linemen, you can pretty much see it right away. Creed Humphrey was a guy that not only did we see it in college, but in his rookie year, we already saw this guy This guy has, like star potential in the NFL. And Creed Humphrey now is the best center in the NFL. But like with guys like that, you can just see it and you can just tell. And I think with the guy like Zach Frazier, you can kind of see the upside there. But of course, one of the things that I have to now throw in there in every video is when I make predictions, there are some things that I can't really control. One is I don't know work ethics that guy has. Do guys want to be great or do they not want to be great? Do they not put the effort into the offseason? And I don't really know Zach Frazier. I don't know if he's that type of guy that has that work ethic. What I can tell you with Frazier is the guy looks the part. The guy looks really, really, really good in so many different aspects. And I'm excited about this one, man. I think Frazier's going to be a really, really good football player. I know Broderick Jones struggling a little bit. We're going to do a film breakdown on him probably a little bit later on because the guy's been struggling and it's kind of what Andrew Thomas struggled with early on in his career. And if Broderick Jones can fix a couple of things, there's still a lot of upside with him. But we will do that a little bit later on, so be on the lookout for that one. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time with another video.